A big thank you to the Tenora student section for that great welcome.
That's right. Not only does Tenora have big guns on the field, they were showing their big guns in the stands.
Crazy good.
Great.
Welcome to week 13 of the Tim and Chuck High School Football Show presented by Batt and Stevens Body Shop. We are here on location at Frickers as always. And Chuck, week 13, Tenora, Wasion, and Columbus Grove just keep rolling along.
Rolling. Lucky 13 for those guys. You're playing football. You want to play your best football at the end of the season, and they're doing it.
Regional championships.
Yeah, lots of hardware on the line this week. Lots of big trophies.
Well, before we dive into the games, Chuck, let's kind of backtrack and talk about these introductions that we've gotten this year from the students, the mascots, the cheerleaders. I mean, it's been crazy good.
Yeah.
And this week's, again, from Tenora students. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's great support from all the guys at the area local schools. And, you know, Tenora's had a little bit of practice at it, so they're probably the best at it because, you know, all the practice they're getting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about the playoff matchups this week, Chuck. Let's start with the schedule. Division 4 Region 12 Championship. We've got Wasion unbeaten playing Kenton Friday night at Finley's Donnell Stadium. Obviously, our teams around here know a little bit about that stadium.
That's right. Lots of teams. You know, it's every year at least one team funnels in, plays down at Finley. It's a great facility.
Yeah. Well, Division 6 talked about those Rams. They're moving on to the regional championship. They play Bucyrus Winford. Tenora's unbeaten. That game is also Friday night, 7:30 at Ada's Dial Roberson Stadium on the campus of Ohio Northern.
Yeah, you know, that's another great spot. You get that little bit of a college atmosphere, which is great for the kids, you know, sort of get playing in that college campus, and that's great for them.
Division 7, Region 24, we talked about Columbus Grove. They're 8-4. They'll take on 11-1 Arlington. That game is Saturday night at back at Finley.
Oh, yeah. You know, Finley, they always host a lot of games there. They had the double dip last week, so just keep hosting.
Yeah. Well, let's get a little bit more in depth, Chuck. Let's start with the Tenora-Winford matchup. Yeah. The Rams, like we said, hardware on the line. What do they need to do to be one of those Final Four teams?
Yeah, you know what? Just keep riding the horse that got you there. You know, that's all, you know, Coach Krause is going to do. He's going to saddle up those running backs behind that big, powerful offensive line and just keep running the football. You look at Winford's defense, I think Tenora's going to have success. Their defense, their edge guys do a great job of setting the edge, but they don't get a lot of flow from those linebackers and stuff, just in the little bit of film that I've watched, and the cutback's going to be there. And if anybody can cut back, it's going to be Nago, because that dude runs downhill, and he can cut back on a dime. I think he's going to have a big night.
Well, let's flip it over. Last week, Tenora's defense came up with 5 turnovers, shut out Spencerville.
Yeah.
They win that game 37-0. Can that defense keep that going?
You know what? I think they can. They're going to face a little bit bigger offensive line this week. Probably going to see a little bit more shotgun. Winford's quarterback, Keaton Tainer, you know, he'll run the zone read a little bit, pull it if he has to, if he sees those guys crashing backside, and he's got good speed. But I think Tenora probably has a little bit more speed.
So you'd like the Rams to move on to the Final Four?
Give me the Rambos. I think they're going to win the big gold trophy this week.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, let's move on down and talk about that Wasion-Kenton game. A year ago, it was Brian in this spot, Chuck.
That's right.
Shootout with Kenton down there at Finley. I think this is a different Kenton team, but can Wasion, you know, go out there, beat this battle-tested, playoff-tested team in Kenton?
Yeah, you know, they're going to have their hands full. Kenton doesn't host the state powerlifting meet for no reason. They got big, strong dudes down there in Kenton, and I mean, that shows, especially on their defense. Their defense is big. They throw offensive linemen around. They're aggressive. They swarm to the football. In the passing game, they get their hands up. They fly around all over the place, and they get there with a bad attitude. So, you know, Wasion's really going to have their hands full.
Yeah. What will be the keys for that Wasion offense then?
Yeah, you know, just making the most of each possession. They're going to have to be able to move the ball against that big physical guy, you know, Kenton team up front, make big plays downfield when they can.
Well, let's flip it over. Like I said, I don't think this Kenton offense is as explosive, but they're still going to present problems for that Wasion defense.
Yeah, definitely. They do not have a Mock as the trigger man. So, you know, it's not one of those strike fast going to put up 50 points on you offense. But the guy who scares me when you watch them on film is their wide receiver, Colin Stoller. This dude can flat out fly. You know, he will get behind you in a heartbeat. You take a peek in the backfield, he's going to be running a 9-cut right behind you, and he's going to score. So they really have to, you know, mind their P's and Q's and not get beat deep on defense.
Well, I just like the physical nature of this game.
Oh, man, it's going to be slobber, knocker, snot, bubble, city town.
All right. Well, Chuck, let's take a little bit of a break right now. We'll be right back.
Did you know that you can have complete access to stories, pictures, and the Crescent News e-edition at crescentnews.com for just $7 a month? Become an online subscriber to crescentnews.com by calling me, Abby, at 419-784-5441, extension 233, or visiting the Crescent News online subscribe section on the top right-hand corner of our homepage. And remember, Crescent News print subscribers, you have complete access at crescentnews.com for no additional charge.
And we are back, and it's time for the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. Handout awards, Chuck. What do they say about the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week?
Every week they say, Tim, that a hit by any other name would not be the Rose Insurance hit of the week. Just wouldn't be it.
What do you have, Chuck?
Well, hey, coming from that Tenora game last week, we've got Tenora's big O-lineman, Logan Bailey, 6'7", 225, big pull-through, gets to the linebacker. And I tell you what, if you're a linebacker and you're not going to fill, Bailey will block you all day, every day, and twice as long on a Friday night, Tim. He blows it up, paves the way for another big Tenora run.
You know, it's nice to give what they call the big ugly some love.
Yeah, you know, because those guys do the job. You know, they don't get a lot of the press, but they're doing just as much of the grunt work as anybody.
Well, that's your Rose Insurance Collision of the Week. It's time for the Staff Mark Play of the Week, coming from that same game. We've got Matthias Grube and Hunter Vogel of Tenora getting some pressure on the Spencerville quarterback, Mason Nurse. Tries to get rid of it. Threw it to the wrong guy, Chuck. Brevin Renolette puts a hand out there, stabs it with one hand, pulls it in, takes it to the house for a pick six, put the Rams up 13-0. They win 37-0, and they're moving on.
Yep.
That's the Staff Mark Play of the Week. Nice play.
Yeah, you know, sticky fingers, man. I mean, that's a heck of a way to pull that thing in there. Huh? Check that man's gloves. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Chuck, we ask this question every week. Where's Ethan going to be?
I don't know. My guess is he's probably going to pull out the Ram card.
Yeah, he's been following that train, and he's going to keep following it, going to Ohio Northern. He's going to see the Rams and Bucyrus Winford. Check out, come back, see all the big plays, the hits, everything. He'll have the highlights for you.
That's right.
He just does it and does it. He's the man.
That's right. You go, Ethan.
Well, at this time, we'd like to say a big thank you to our title sponsor, Bat and Stevens Body Shop, for everything that they do for us. Frickers for hosting the show. Rose Insurance and Staff Mark for the awards. We couldn't do it without them.
That's right. You know, great to have those sponsors. Keep this thing rolling. Hey, let's go into week 14.
Well, as always, follow us on Facebook on the Tim and Chuck High School Football Show. We're on Twitter. And come back Friday night and Saturday. You will see coverage, pictures, the whole shebang on our website from our sports department. They do a great job, too.
They sure do. I'm going to go man versus food on these nachos, Timmy.
Well, let's wrap this thing up. That is the Tim and Chuck High School Football Show for week 13. We'll be back for week 14. Chuck will be here. I'll be here. Might as well check it out. See you then.